The third installment of the Silent Hill games is my least favorite of the series, but that doesn't make it a bad game. It definitely has the qualities of a horror game, as Konami kept on refining their product and changing the town of Silent Hill with each new title. Hitting shelves in 2003 for the PlayStation 2, and later for the PC, Silent Hill 3 is actually a sequel to Silent Hill 1, as it follows the same storyline and does not continue the happenings of Silent Hill 2. This time, the protagonist is a teenage girl named Heather, who is drawn into Silent Hill's bizarre reality after a terrifying experience one afternoon at a shopping mall. She ultimately discovers that she is part of the plans of the town's cult, and becomes caught in the conflict within the cult itself. Other than the story, Silent Hill 3 doesn't change much of the recipe when compared to Silent Hill 2, and it seems somewhat stagnant because I find it to be much weaker than the previous iterations. The graphics, on the other hand, really push the benchmark for the survival horror genre, as Silent Hill 3 looks absolutely fabulous. There are no grainy textures, and the juxtaposition of the real world and the dark world come together very well throughout your time in the town. I have to give a minor spoiler away just because I feel it is important to point out, so you can stop listening for about a minute if you don't want to hear it. Heather, the girl you control, is actually the daughter of Harry Mason, the protagonist from Silent Hill 1. She's trying to figure out where her father went after his disappearance in the town from the first game. Throughout Silent Hill 3, Heather finds notes from her father, and the cool thing is that each of the notes are the save points from Silent Hill 1, in the exact same places where the player controlled Harry Mason and used them to save their game. The characters are not as memorable as other Silent Hill games, but you do feel the madness that each of them brings to the story. This in turn causes Heather to fall deeper and deeper into distress, which the town eventually picks up on, and that entity that it has, it turns the whole area into her own personal nightmare. You'll find yourself in restaurants, amusement parks, a haunted mansion, and of course the scariest location in the town, the hospital. The game does a great job of changing each location from the normal world to the dark world, and it is awesome to see the different settings when they have been transformed. There's no return of Pyramid Head, but the monsters throughout are quite disturbing, and Heather is worse off in combat than her father. She can't shoot properly or even swing a lead pipe with any force. You're definitely better off running than trying to go toe-to-toe with any of the monsters that come your way. Needless to say, you're in over your head throughout the whole game, and it takes a ton of courage to overcome the cult of Silent Hill. The psychological terror that you find in the character quickly transitions to you as a player, and this makes for a great horror experience. So why is Silent Hill 3 on the Halloween horror list? Even though it isn't the greatest Silent Hill title, the game is still damn scary. The overall atmosphere is so well done that you can't deny the horror that emits from the town. The minute you step into it, you are overcome with a genuine frightening feeling, and you can't help but feel vulnerable as Heather. The terrible camera and combat can be overlooked, with the feeling of eeriness and doom being overwhelming. Silent Hill 3 is a competent sequel, and may be tough to follow if you haven't played the first game, but this high production value package is a welcome addition to the Halloween horror list, and puts another marker of Silent Hill right on the map.